Welcome to my hood, Elderhood. I'm your host, Coach Memory, where I ask that you listen with your ears and respect my hood. Look, I am a young elder that turned my knots into ties. Therefore, now I am on a queen's clock. And like the game of chess, only queens can make certain moves. My time is now to have thought-provoking conversations that will connect the elders to the millennials in order to strengthen the Black family. My topic today is stop. There really is no one like us. I'm going to approach 11 facts, and they tie into one another. So when I get to flowing, I'm going to keep on going. And I just want you to listen with your ears, like I say, and prove me wrong. Let's have conversation. If you disagree with something that I say, that's what we're here for. You don't build community by being the only speaker, by having the only opinion. So, number one, to be Black in America is like no one else experience. Now, that's a fact. And generally speaking, too, we are very religious people, but we run from the first thing that God and only God can give us: our skin color. So, when I say there's no one like us, there isn't. No one else has experienced what we have experienced. And we cheat ourselves instead of treating ourselves by not acknowledging that, wanting it to go away or wanting to be like people that we should not want to be like. As religious as we are, we should be so thankful to God and know God don't make no mistakes, right? So if God makes no mistakes, why do we run from the first flex that he gave us? We can switch religions, we can switch relationships, we can switch jobs, we can switch all those things. But the one thing you can never switch off and you can never change is being Black. So, I used to always hear people say, there's two things in life you cannot run from: being Black and dying. Sometimes they are put in the IRS because you can't run from them either. But those two for fact, you cannot run from being Black. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you change your outer appearance, inside, DNA don't lie. And you're going to always be who God wanted you to be, intended for you to be. And guess what? You can't have an assignment. You can't live a godly life if you run from the first flex that he gave you. I'm telling you, when I walk in a room, I walk in with my first flex, being proud to be what God made me. And I just wish that when I walked in the room, I had company sometimes. Well, not all the time. I wish I had company when I see people that look like me running and not wanting to acknowledge me because whatever their makeup is, whatever that is in their DNA. So, number 3, we are a color-blind people when it comes to everybody but those that look like us. Why is that? You can see the good in everybody else, but you can never see the good in somebody that looks like you. Let somebody wrong you one time that looks like you, and you head for the hills, baby. Let somebody mess up your vehicle. You go to a mechanic. You go to a lawyer. And you don't do your due diligence and do your homework. So guess what you do? You say, ooh, that ninja. He did me wrong. I'll never go to another ninja. I know I shouldn't have went to a ninja. I know I should have went and found me a certain type of lawyer or get me a doctor. I have read stories about doctors catching it bad from other black people. They say, you can't possibly be a doctor. No, I want a white man. No, I want an Asian. We belittle ourselves to the point that it's laughable to others and sad to people that look like you. So if you're doing this, stop it. Take everybody on their own merits, no matter what the color. We are not a colorblind society. And if we was a colorblind society, it would probably be better off. But the fact is, we are not a colorblind society. So let's stop being the only ones that's colorblind. Let's stop being the only ones that being colorblind is a requirement when they kill somebody or when they mistreat somebody. We're the only people that want to be colorblind. They don't even ask because we just offer it up. But that wants to be colorblind and wants to be, oh, so forgiving. You can't pick from the Bible and from the Holy Quran. You can't pick what and choose what you want to deal with. You're either going to walk that walk and talk that talk, or you're just going to be a student until you're ready to walk that walk and talk that talk. Number 4, we will go out of our way to let people that don't look like us know that we are not together. But other people walk with their superpower. I'm very careful with my words because it's important for you to understand where I'm coming from. Now, I've seen it. I'm going by my experience and my experience only. And that's, like I said, that's where conversations come in at. If you disagree with me, that's okay. I want you to disagree. I want you to prove me wrong. That's the first thing I said at the top, in the beginning of this. I said, prove me wrong. But more times than not, other people walk with their superpower. And that was given to them only by God. Only God can give you your skin, can decide what he wants you to look like. From what I've seen, they don't go out of their way one way or the other. It's an unspoken truth. It's an unspoken fact. They don't have to do all the things. And sometimes, I'm guilty of this. I go in and I overly talk to black people. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? You look good. Your hair look good. How you doing, brother? You cool? I find myself having to tone it down some because it makes me feel like I'm trying to make a point or trying to prove a point, and I can't do it by myself. I can't do it alone. I don't have to wear that weight on me to say, it's my job to go and prove that I'm proud to be black, and I want you to acknowledge that you see me, and I want to acknowledge that I see you. Now, when you do the nod or you do the, just speak, it's good. But for the most part, people look at you like, why are you speaking to me? I don't know you. That's just the world that we're living in now. That's the dynamics that I see. It's like, okay, why are you speaking to me? Do I know you? Do you know me? But I said I had to give up that notion that I needed to warm up the room, if you will. I needed to let you know, come on, you in a safe space. I can do it, but without all of the extra is what I had to learn not to do. 5, I have noticed when getting promoted on the job, when black people get promoted on the job, you will purposely prove that you will not play favoritism. You will encourage those that don't look like you. You will train your future manager or supervisor. And when I say you will encourage, I have watched women and men that look like me give young people coming into a job that I worked for 29 years I have watched them give them the hardest time. Don't want them to get off early. Don't want them to go to school. Don't want them to better themselves as in a different position at the job. But then when I see somebody that don't look like me or don't look like us, we'll be in a predominantly black place, our employment. But if somebody come in and don't look like us, it's like the red carpet is rolled out. These are literally people that are just starting this job. It's amazing to me. And I've watched it. And I don't understand it. And it's not for me to understand, but it still don't make me feel good. It still makes me not understand what is the problem. You should want anybody walking in those doors to better themselves, to be better being up under you as a supervisor, as a manager, as a director, whatever you are. You should encourage everybody and not just encourage people that you think can do something for you. Or you just have to make it a point of saying, look, I don't play favoritism. Everybody else do. Why not? There's nothing wrong with a little nepotism in the world. As long as you're not restricting anybody from doing better. Life is not fair. You're going to have somebody, and if you think for 1 minute that you go into a job, and if somebody brings in their niece or their nephew or their cousin or their friend, that they're not going to look out for them, then I don't know what kind of world you're living in. But it's not realistic. That's why you have to create your own. But when you do the most on other people's jobs, that you hit a clock just like anybody else, that is not your place of employment. But you should not go out of your way to mistreat anybody. But you should definitely not go out of your way to have to prove that you're not gonna give anybody, show favoritism to somebody because of the color of their skin, or because of the gender, or because of age. I do believe in divine intervention, and I know how karma is. But you really are training your future supervisor or your future manager when you do things like that. So if you're doing it, reconsider it. Take everybody on their own merit. And if you can help somebody to look out like you a little bit, or take a little extra time, why not? Others do it. Why not you? Okay. Now this one right here, it really clutches me. I promise you. And that is number 6. Have you ever been in a line in a store and the cashier is energetic with great customer service to people that don't look like you? Or the customer service worker don't look like you, don't look like her, or don't look like him. And once you get up there, I've always been a customer service person. So I love customer service. It should be guaranteed to the customer to spending their money. And me being in the customer service field, I never took out my daily frustration, or if I was going through something at home or in a relationship, I never took it out on the customer. And when I get in the line and I watch ahead of me, I watch behind me, you have to be aware of your surroundings and the people and the energy, because you never know really what you're dealing with, and if things can go left real quick. So back to my story. I will be standing in the line and I will watch and I will see the energy. And I'm like, okay, cool. If I'm having a bad day, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get this good energy. I needed to get in this line. And then when you get up there, yep, that's what happened. They go mute. Absolutely mute. Can't scan your stuff fast enough. Don't even want to have eye contact with you. And I'm the type of person like, wait a minute. I just saw all of this good energy. I wanted something to be rubbed off on me. How you doing? You having a good day? Nope, fine. This is what I get. And I said, I don't know what that is, but you cannot treat people based on your emotions. If you're in a job, like it or not, you have to show up for the job for everybody, not just for people that is pleasing to your eye. And trust me when I say, people laugh at you when you do that. So please stop. When your co-workers or other people look at see you do that, and not only that, just treat people like you want to be treated. You might go into somebody's job, because if you work in customer service, you definitely, life is customer service. You're going to have to deal with somebody, and one day you really might need somebody to give you grace and to give you a smile or how you doing. I've seen it too many times, so it was important for me to bring that up, because like I said, people really are not like us. They not like us. They not like us. 7, don't scratch unless you itch, and don't dance until you hear music that you like. I was told that all my life. Growing up, do not scratch unless you itching, and don't dance. That was the whole play on having to be submissive. And I think the elders, and they knew, they always wanted to get that point across. Just like that, they would always tell me, when you shake somebody's hand, you give them a firm handshake and you look them in their eye. And I found that to be true. Growing up, I will look people in their eye, firm handshake. I say what I mean. I'm very proud, have always been proud of who I am. So it was a no-brainer for me. But sometimes you'll see, if you're in an interview and you look a person in their eye, they have your undivided attention. You can answer their questions confidently without dubbing and and hipping and hawing and dancing and scratching and itching and doing all that movability. They see you different. I promise you, I've never not got a job when I show up for myself. Because when I show up for myself, I'm pretty sure they know I'm going to show up for this job. I do my due diligence and I do the work to understand that job. That means I don't have to kiss no butt. I don't have to dance. I don't have to laugh. I don't have to do all of that shucking and jiving, as they call it back in the day. I don't have to do all of that, because I'm going to show up representing who I am and who God made me to be. Number 8, blacks are so divided and no one wants to be black. We belittle ourselves around everyone. People say, don't call me black, and will recognize everything that they think is a part of them. This is one, it's just amazing to me how people will just not say, no, I got white in me, I got Irish in me, I have all these things. Since forever, nobody is pure, okay? But I've never seen anybody rep more of something that was forced on you than something that God made you. And a person will say, well, I'm Italian, I'm Irish. And I always say, go to that Irish pub and tell them you Irish. Go to an Italian eatery and tell them that you're Italian, and see what they say. None of us is pure. None of us is perfect. But I never understood that. And this is, to me, this is one thing I feel black should take a page from white people. They're not white. You know, like I said, I'm not black. I'm brown, I'm yellow, I'm light-skinned, I'm dark-skinned. Oh, I'm so tired of that. But we should take a page because they're not white. But they turned it into an advantage. And look at the world. That was not a fact. But look how a person can turn turmoil into triumph and can build off of it and can change the whole narrative. It amazes me how a recessive people have made dominant people want to be recessive. I never understood that. But on to number 9. Don't take what our ancestors had to go through. Excuse me. Next, don't take away what our ancestors had to go through and give it and don't acknowledge it. It's a flex, it's an honor, and we should be the first ones. Nobody else should know our history better than we know our history. And you cannot take away what was done. Because trust me, the yellow, red, brown, the LGBTQ, and the white woman, who, by the way, has been the biggest benefactor of affirmative action. Let me just say that. Let me put that in perspective and do some homework on it, and you'll find out who the biggest benefactor is. I've never seen people turn a lie into fact, and even the person that they're lying on believe that fact. And also, I want to say the colors. When I said the yellow, the red, the brown, it's letting you know we all have a color, because this is the what? The rainbow. This is a melting pot, America. So this is the colors that they give us to keep us divided, or whatever, however you want to use it. But they have all taken what our ancestors had to go through. Civil rights. There was no dogs being sick on anybody else but our ancestors and our elders. Some elders, thank them for their service, are still living. We had to, there was no other people that was not considered human. Was considered 3/4 human. But our ancestors, we were hung. We were spread by the horses. It's trauma that we have gone through that has bonded us. And you will hear people say trauma bond. Yeah, we do have a trauma bond, because we all mixed up. And it had nothing to do with anybody having a choice. So, all the previous mentioned are the students of our ancestors. And don't ever forget that. But they benefit from thus our suffering. We are not the teacher or the student. Black people have turned into neither. We used to be the teacher. We are not the teacher or the student. We want to just forget that we're black. We are watering down who we are to the point we are so ashamed that we go and find people that don't look like us and try to have children. Our babies don't even want to be like us. Our babies are running and away from us. But just remember, no one went through what we did, nor do they have residual trauma. Nobody. I would never take away from anybody else's Holocaust, but don't ever, ever, ever forget the Black Holocaust and how much we were raped of everything. Everything was taken from us. And then to not even acknowledge it, it hurts. Don't tell me that everybody else gets paid and reparations for their trauma that happened, and look, ours is still going on. Whether you want to believe it or not, you can believe that you have came and you've got over, but it's still happening. Okay, number 10, and that goes on to, we are disappearing as a people due to self-hatred, and if that's not enough, we are bleaching, reshaping our nose and our lips and all our African features. It's absolutely amazing to me how this whole bleaching of the skin and how all the lips, they want the lips, and we're trying to contour them in a way that they don't look like what they're paying for. I don't understand it. I try to figure it out, but everything is not for you to figure out. It's not for me to figure out. I can only speak on it, and if we can try to figure it out and understand it for one another, it would be great. So, but we have to do something about generations getting weaker and weaker due to self-hate. You move differently when you love the skin that you're in with pride. I've been doing it for quite some time. I've always loved who I am as far as color, because I've always had an absolutely wonderful relationship with God, even though sometimes, being honest, I put him aside when, going through my whole questioning God and religion and everything. But one thing I never questioned what I look like, because I know only God could have made this masterpiece. So, like it or love it, I am gonna always walk with my first superpower, and that is being Black. And I'm telling you, this life is just different. It hit different when you're proud of who you are, and pride comes to you. And pride, you're around people just gravitate towards you when it's not just a song. It really is nobody like us. There's nobody like us, period. Now, I'm going to hit number 11. It truly hurts me to my empathetic heart when I can't go to my native land and visit or decide to stay like most people in America. I can't speak my native tongue. I can't speak of the accomplishments of our forefathers from generations, all while watching them age gracefully. We have to stop depreciating ourselves. We didn't choose to not have our native tongue. We didn't choose. And we need to understand. I want you to understand when I say it hurts me, because I see so many people, older people, aging. But really look at the men. Look at the Black men. I'm not talking about the choices, the bad food, the disease. I'm talking about everybody, every age group, every race, every creed, everybody makes decisions and make choices. But I don't care whether you want to believe it or not, we are different than everybody else. And when I say, when you see all of these older white men, let me individualize this, because it hurts me. When I see people talking about, oh, my great great grandfather was a general of this, my great great grandmother did that. Mainly the men. It's like, mine did it under pressure, but you don't even acknowledge them. So when you don't acknowledge, or when a person is so caught up in what they hear people saying about them, only thing you want to talk about is slavery. You have to know your past in order to live in the present and have a thriving future for generations to come. And I know I had uncles, and I had mainly uncles that were in, I know I had uncles that were in the military. And I know they did great, honorable things. But we don't discuss it. We just say, oh yeah, they were in the Army, because that really was the only one they allowed us to be in for so many years. But I want to be able to see the elder males age and get older and be able to sit and watch their family. I want to see the older women be able to be prideful and sit there and tell the stories of the generals and their fathers and their great-grandfathers. But that was taken. And you can't get that back. Only thing you can do is try to put pieces of a puzzle together so your children will never have to feel any type of void. Some people might not feel that void. Some people have that. And if they do, kudos to them. Keep it going. Don't never ever stop. And if you have something and you're not writing it down and you're not sharing it with other people, start sharing it. Because it might be somebody in your family that feel like me, that wish they knew all the accolades and all the things that their greats did. So let's stop depreciating ourselves. We need to find a lot of empathy for one another. Seek it out. Give it. Get it. Rinse, wash, and repeat. So we can stop believing what people, places, and TV things tell us we are, and becoming our worst enemy. Empathy. It should be on everybody's mind. But Black people, we need to seek it out, because we have no empathy for one another anymore. And I do believe that's about it. But consider, prove me wrong. I look forward to being proven wrong on this, if it's possible. If it's not, let's heal so we can build. Let's get it together, and let's know that there really is no one like us. We don't have to be like anybody else. We're going to flex what we have. We're going to flex in what God has given us, period. Now on to the segment. Don't shoot the messenger, change the message. Please know you are dominant, not recessive. And melanin is a chemical, not a color. But understand, melanin is a chemical. And we are blessed to have it. An abundance of it. Let's not water it down. But let's start repping our ancestors and our elders. They're worth representing in a positive light. Remember, you're dominant. You're not recessive. Those brown and dark eyes are dominant. That strong, curly hair is dominant, is strength in that. Believe that. It's not a lot of people in the world that has hair like us, that coils, that nose, that lips, that bone structure. We are awesome. We really are. And the biggest fallacy, the biggest lie that has been told, first, that we was not human, that we were more animalistic. But isn't it strange how people say the world was created where? In Africa? You better start repping what God gave you. All right, till next time, I leave you on the Black Hand side with positive energy, peace, and Black pride. With positive energy, peace, and Black pride. I want my knots and my ties to know that you are never alone. And if you don't have a connection to family, you do now. Because I am here to build community. You can book a one-on-one discovery call with me, Coach Memory, and we can discuss what the next steps look like for you. You can also find me on all social platforms at Respect My Elderhood. I have a business page on Facebook, The Family Legacy Coach. And I also have a private page, A Queen's Clock, on Facebook, where the queens come and just connect and just strengthen one another for our kings, for our prince, for our princesses. Because, queens can only make certain moves. So we have to build us so we can help build our kings. Know, love, and be thyself is the key in a Queen's Clock. It's a key period. Let's heal so we can build. And I'm out.